Hello again, guys. It is at Free 700 and we are back, this time with some Warhammer Fantasy lore. What the fuck is Skeggy? Now, I'm going to warn you now, if you're not familiar with what Nordskins are, if you're not familiar with a rough understanding of what lizardmen are, probably shouldn't watch this, and you should probably go watch that first before you come to Skeggy. Because you see, Skeggy is a bit of a topic that involves both those lores mixed into one. So you need kind of a rough understanding of what those two cultures are before you get into what Skeggy is. Now, let's get on to the real stuff. What is the Skeggy? Skeggy is actually a woman, believe it or not. It is the daughter of the founder of Skeggy. That's why the town has its name. But reality is, Skeggy is actually a village. It's a little tiny Norscan village that's in Lustria. Now, it's not the first people who weren't lizards to inhabit Norska. The first people to inhabit Norska that weren't lizards would be Skaven and the Vampire Coast. You see, roughly about like 10, 12 years before Skeggy was founded, there was Luther Harkon, who was just sleeping in his sarcophagus on board his ship. And all of a sudden, a bunch of Nordskins raided the ship while, again, he's sleeping in a sarcophagus. And, of course, the Nordskins took his sarcophagus thinking, hey, this must be valuable. And then they made their way to Lustria. Of course, that didn't really work. They ended up dead or undead to Luther Harkon's magic. And Luther Harkon made the Vampire Coast. Skeggy is north of that. It's pretty damn close to Hexawaddle, too, which is where Mazdamundi is. Which, again, it's pretty fucking amazing that they exist. But what that is there was a Norscan known as Losterixton. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Losterixson? I'm not too good at reading this. Because Vikings isn't really easy to pronounce. But Losterixon was on an expedition. As most Norskins are, they're always out on their boats, looking for plunder, looking for booty. And he tried the High Elves and he tried the Dark Elves, trying to raid their cities and stuff. But the issue is that High Elves, you can't really get onto Ulthuan. You have to go through magical passageways because they have magical barriers protecting the island. And once you get through, you're not really in the clearing yet because they are very, very heavily guarded. They have a lot of dragons, they have a lot of archers, they have constant patrols. You're just not really going to make any real money fighting that. Trying to get just one little gold helmet or something for you to bring back. Yeah, you're not going to make a lot of profit. Especially since Losterixon is with a fleet of 3 ships. So he's got a lot of crew members to pay off once this expedition's over. So he goes to the Dark Elves area. He's like, fuck it, let's go here. I mean, shit. Everyone's raided Naggarond, why can't I? Well, that didn't work either. They were again too heavily defended. So he's like, fuck. Where am I gonna fucking go to get some fucking booty so that way I can pay all these guys who were my crewmates and also make money for myself so I can go ahead and pay a dowry so I can marry my love, Inga. Well, he goes south. South of Naggarond down to the jungles of Lustria. He makes landfall and he goes, wow, this area fucking sucks. I just landed and already half my crew members are sick from the jungle bugs biting the shit out of them. That is awful. But I am not undeterred. I'm going to push right through this goddamn jungle and I'm going to find something worth fucking selling. So what does he do? He goes, all right, I know you guys are sick because the jungle bugs bit you in the ass, but you're just going to stay here and guard the boats while me and the other half are just going to go into the forest and just look and see what's in this fucking place. So he looks, he goes through, he finds the abandoned ruins, which he tells everyone, scatter, just look for anything and everything of value and just take it with us. After a while of looting, they discover quite a few things like, gold cups, gold plates, typical lizardmen shit. Lizardmen have so much gold that they just use it for just common day Tupperware. So everything there is of value to the Nordskins. They're like, fuck yeah, we fucking made the jackpot, bitch. So they just take all this shit and they regroup before they head out. And of course, they're so busy just drooling over all the gold that they found that they just failed to realize that, hey, we lost a few of our guys. They haven't came back. Oh well, let's go back to the boats and sell this shit. Because this shit is worth a lot of money. So they get back to their boats, and the half of their crew that were guarding the boats, oh, they're not dead from the diseases of the jungle. They're fucking gone. They just, no blood splatters, no bones laying around, nothing. They are gone. Weapons, gone. Hair, gone. Boots, gone. Every semblance that they were even there on top of the boats, gone. Well, this was kind of an issue, but this wasn't going to deter them. I mean, shit, their voyage was a success. They have the booty. They just now have less people to share the booty with. Fuck yeah. Round of applause, guys. Now every single one of us is dirty fucking rich. Quick, hop on the boats and let's get back to home and make a shit ton of money selling this shit. That is exactly what happens. But before they leave, they decide to leave a giant collection of stones, a huge pile of stones, on the coast, so that way it's marked. That way they know they've reached the same landing that they originally came to. Well, they go back to Norsca, and every single crew member was dirty fucking rich. Despite having half the crew members, they had enough to pilot all 3 ships and make it back to Norsca, and everyone was dirty fucking rich. Never did they have to worry about bills. Never did they have to worry about having to fight for their money anymore. They were fucking set to just drink themselves into a stupor, brag about their fucking travels and adventures. They are good to go. So, what happens now is Nordskins pays the dowry to have his wife Inga. He has his children. He says, okay, everyone, calm down, because so many people are like, damn, dude, you're so fucking rich. Can you take us to this land where just gold is just lying around everywhere? And he's like, all right. Let's form an expedition again, and we'll go there. I'll take you guys there. He goes there, again, sees a giant-ass obelisk of fucking stones that they left behind, and goes, yep, this is the place. But we should probably make this a permanent settlement. I mean, shit, if we're going to be going here so often, why not just make a Norscan house? After all, Norscan villages aren't really, like, that difficult to make. You just need a shit ton of wood. Which, hey, the jungle line is literally right there past the sand. So, start chopping. Shit, if you start chopping the wood, the jungle bugs will have to be further away from the beach. That way, when you step off the boat, you don't get instantly bit and infected with diseases. Hell yeah, this is a fucking win-win. So that's what they did. They exactly just got off their boats, chopped away, and they put massive wooden support beams in the water from their boats, so that way they can form the foundations of their village. See, the village isn't actually in the ground, it's actually above it. Now, there's a few reasons for this. One of the reasons is that, one, Nordskins is being safe and cautious because lizardmen are very xenophobic and they don't like it when people are in Lustria. So technically, this is a loophole where they're in Lustria, but they're not actually on the land of Lustria. But also, more importantly, the region of Lustria is always prone to flooding and droughting, so this kind of bypasses that. Also, hurricanes. This way, they're actually not on the island itself, so they don't have to worry about being flooded because they're already in the ocean. They're already above the flooding. And, of course, if it droughts, hey, that just means that there's more land for them to walk on. Not a big deal. That means that they can actually be underneath the fucking village. Woohoo. So that's exactly what they do. Now, Nordskins is being kind of cautious here, and he says, as far as rules go for the village, after all, he named it after his daughter, Skeggy. He says, alright guys, we can live here and we can make shit ton of money on just people visiting. Because, hey, who wouldn't want to come to an island that's literally full of fucking gold wherever you go? You could just kick over a rock and bam, look, there's gold underneath the rock. Like, we can make a lot of money just making a bar here, just chilling, paying people just to come over. Like, we can make a shit ton of money. So I'm going to outlaw it for you guys to actually go into the jungle and explore ruins. This, of course, did not settle well with the population of Nordskins, who are also Viking-type people who like to plunder shit. So they promptly said, fine, we won't raid into your place, but we're going to raid into the jungle. That sounds good. That sounds good, right? Yeah, we're not breaking any rules. We're just going into the jungle and go fuck some shit up. And that's exactly what they did. Now, Lost being a Norscan, the issue with Nordskins is that it's not really a society run by rules. It's more of kind of like an orc society where it takes an iron hand to rule these people. And the problem is that he doesn't really have this iron hand anymore because, after all, what's he going to do? He can live a life of comfort. He doesn't give a fuck if they break the rules. He's just advising them not to. And if they break the rules, he's only going to do something only if it's going to hurt him. So, fuck it. It seems like pretty much just a situation where it's like, I told them if something bad happens, I'll just tell them they're dumbasses, but I can't really stop them because my influence isn't greater than just our natural cultural beings. This being said, Skeggy quickly became full of other travelers too. Empire, Bretonnians, Chileans, Estalians, a lot of people who are from the old world are listening to these stories of crazy Norscan sailors talking about a land just full of gold, and they're like, shit, that's really good. And so Skeggy became a quick place full of people. But, of course, there have been hard times on Skeggy, like, they had to erect a giant fortress just in case something bad happened. They also have had dealings with lizards, like one expedition. They took a golden plaque that has glyphs on it. Now, usually when they take golden shit, the lizardmen usually don't give a fuck. Because in their society, they don't place that much effort or value on golden items. They just say, fuck it. It's a soft metal. You can easily malleable it. So, we're just going to make it into a dinner plate. Fuck it. We don't need a forge for that. You can literally just shape it with your hand. But a golden plaque with glyphs on it, those are parts of the great plan that the lizardmen hold so fucking dearly. So if you're taking parts of their religion, they're definitely going to be pissy. And they do have a few magical artifacts too lying around. Well, it just so happens, after many pillaging attempts, one pillaging expedition actually did succeed in stealing one of these fucking things. Which was bad. That is a very, very bad. Whoa, that is not good indeed. Sure enough, they go to Hexalotl, they take some shit, and they take something that's actually very important. They return to Skeggy because, they consider it safe. And before everyone knows it, a huge army of skinks come out of the forest and start immediately throwing arrows, javelins, darts at the people. Thankfully for the Nordskins in Skeggy, when they go out farming, they usually keep their axe and their shield next to them while they're planting crops. That's just a tradition they have, because after all, they're a warlike people. I was about to say race, but they're more like a people than a race. So, they quickly fell back into Skeggy, trying to hold it as much as they could. This is when Los Erickson said, alright guys, I don't know why these guys are pissed at us, but they're clearly going to destroy us, like all of us, and they don't give a fuck who's guilty or not. So take everything that you've stolen from the jungle and throw it overboard into the sand. This is what everyone did without question. Because, hey, being killed because of some stupid, accidentally taking their favorite toothbrush is not something worth dying over. So everyone just does it. They're like, I don't know, but I took this from the jungle. I'm going to fucking throw it because this might be why they're trying to kill us. To which the Skaven stopped fighting. They actually, not Skaven, the Lizardmen stopped fighting. Sorry, I have a slip up of words sometimes. The Lizardmen stop and they go, whoa. Hey, was that what we wanted? I don't know. Let me go check. No, that's not it. Throw that shit over my shoulder. No, that's not it. Throw that shit over my shoulder. They kept looking and looking until they finally found the golden plaque that they were looking for, in which case they just said, got it! Victory is ours! We can claim the day for the old ones! Woohoo! Take that, pink skins. And they just left. Totally left. Didn't even look back. Didn't even say anything. Just left. To which everyone at first they were shocked. They were like, what the fuck? What was it that we took? They still left all this gold here. Gold. Fuck, I gotta get it back. So immediately everyone scattered and totally forgot about the invasion and just said, fuck it, I gotta get my treasure back before some asshole steals it. And that's the one time that Skeggy actually almost got destroyed. Just by lizardmen. And, of course, that's how everyone returned back to their normal situation. I mean, I guess the other time Skeggy almost got destroyed, now that I think about it, was the time when they almost ran out of ale. But thankfully, when the first corn started to pop up, they quickly turned that shit into beer. Also, they found out that the jungle has a lot of bees, and the bees happen to make the sweetest honey, which they turn into the sweetest mead that has ever existed in the world. So I guess I would consider that the second time Skeggy almost got obliterated was when they almost ran out of fucking alcohol. But Skeggy's been a very important settlement in the Lustrian society, and it's been a very important settlement in the world because it's been basically the gateway of civilization into Lustria. When the Empire crash lands on a boat, they can go to Skeggy for safe harbor. If a Bretonnian lesser noble is looking for fame and fortune for the lady and to return home as a rich man so he can overtake whatever his older siblings have been hoarding, he can just go to Lustria. If there's a empire man who's sick of being beaten up by the rich guys, he could just go to Lustria. So Skeggy has been basically the bastion of hope for all adventurers who are down on their luck, down on their end. They're bankrupt as fuck. Hey, Lustria is a good option for you. Also, Skeggy has some of the best navigators and the best jungle experts in the whole world. So this is where some high elves even hire some of the Nordskins there just to lead them through the jungle. Let's say the high elves are trying to investigate what the old ones used to do for magical prowess. Well, they could just hire some Nordskins to lead them to the arcane site that they're looking for, study the magic, and then say, all right, Nordskins, lead us back because we don't know what the fuck the jungle is. And they can do it. So it's a good place of business. It's a good place of commerce. It's a good place of adventure. It's a good place of just hope. Hope for those who are downtrodden, hoping to get their luck up. But one of the interesting things about Skeggy as far as like historical importance is that this is where the Amazons come in. I don't think they're canon anymore, but the Amazons used to be just a bunch of women in the jungle of Lustria who believe in the lizardmen gods, but they don't actually support the lizardmen, and the lizardmen don't really care to support them. But they're just a bunch of warrior women. And their history actually ties to Skeggy, because Skeggy, everyone there pretty much is just there to be rich. They're not actually there to defend a city, to grow a city. No, it's basically a gateway. That's all it is. So, during one eventful issue where the village was attacked, the women picked up an axe and beat off the invaders. This, of course, was looked down by the Nordskins, because the Nordskins, they're tribal. They're pretty damn tribal, and they believe that no woman should pick up an axe and go to battle. That's a job for men. Well, this is where the ladies known as the Valkyries rose, and they protected the village, and they fought off intruders, and they said, you know what, this is actually fun. I am not going to be your fucking housemaid and just cook you nasty-ass porridge. That's your job to do. I mean, how many expeditions are you going to go into the jungle and not turn up gold when literally I could kick up a rock and find gold, you thundering dumbass? Like, no, I'm going to pick up the axe in the family. This is where Skeggy decided, oh, okay, women are going to, have rights and be independent. Get the fuck out of our village. And they kicked their asses out. And they went into the jungle, found an ancient temple ruin that was completely abandoned by the lizardmen, which is very rare. And they took it up, and that's where they became the Amazon. So Skeggy has a lot of history behind it. I hope I covered everything. I think I covered everything. But besides that, type down what you guys think down below. Do you guys think I've covered just about everything? Do you guys say, wow, I didn't know this was so important. I didn't know Skeggy was this fucking amazing. This is a cool backstory. Or maybe you just want to type down below and go, wow, You talk a lot for saying nothing. So this has been Freezer 700. I am out. I hope you guys have a good day, and as always, don't forget to subscribe.